When World War I started in 1914, the people of Russia rallied around Nicholas II, cheering for him. But a year later, after numerous losses, in an effort to inspire his troops, he took personal control of the army, against the pleas of his closest advisor. Because of this, the people of Russia blamed him for the catastrophic losses during the war and for abandoning the country to the German-born Empress Alexandra and the self-proclaimed holy man, Rasputin. Nicholas and his government showed open dislike of the Duma, the elected legislature, and limited their power greatly. Any attempt to put in place a government that was more representative of the people was rejected by Nicholas, who believed an autocracy was the only way to save the country. The ineffective war effort and the distrust of Alexandria combined with the disgust of Rasputin served only to decrease the authority of Nicholas. Eventually, on October 25, 1917, an armed rebellion took place in Petrograd, and the Russian provisional government was overthrown. Nicholas and his family were held in captivity and later executed. However, the revolution was not universally recognized outside of Petrograd, and due to that, the Russian Civil War had started between the Bolshevik Red Army and the anti-Bolshevik White Army. The Civil War ended with the formation of the Soviet Union in 1922.
The woes of Russia would not end with Nicholas the Tsar. When the Bolshevik Party won the Russian Civil War, Vladimir Lenin became head. However, he would later die in the year 1924, sick in his bed. His death would bring conflict and anger amongst his supporters. Joseph Stalin, Stalin meaning man of steel, would come out on top and become dictator of Russia until his death in 1953. Despite his name, Stalin was no Superman. During his reign, Stalin was known as a very suspicious man. Always, he distrusted his advisors and fellow Russians. Starting in the late 1930s, Stalin would bring about this execution of those he believed to have the ability to overthrow him. This is known as a Great Purge. Victims of the purge, such as Leon Trotsky, a supporter of the late Vladimir Lenin, did not uphold the ideals of Stalin. Therefore, he was assassinated while in exile. Clearly, Joseph Stalin was a cruel leader. Along with Nicholas II, Stalin did not listen to his advisors or people. Stalin would make the decision to send any suspicious people to Soviet labor camps, where through the years following his death, more than 10 million people would die. Although he did in fact bring Russia in as a new world power, what was the cost?
Cuba has had a history of corruption and greed. Fidel Castro emerged as their leader in their time of need, promising to be a better leader, to lead the people out of their dark days. Instead, he led them into a bloody battleground where it is estimated that up to 1 million died directly to the revolution. Since then, many millions more have died due to malnourishment, rampant illness, and political opinions. Castro has put thousands of people to death due to their stance on his politics. The old are treated as a disease. Castro himself is quoted as saying, "I think that a man should not live beyond the age when he begins to deteriorate, when the flame that lighted the brightest moment of his life has weakened." His excuse, "Condemn me, it does not matter. History will absolve me." And children, 1.5 million of them don't have homes. They are forced into living on the streets or in crowded group homes, where thousands of them a year will die. And here we come back full circle to the problems we have here in America. But have any of you ever heard of the Patriot Act? I didn't know about it, nor did the general public for many years. When it was finally signed, it had been in existence, through one form or another, for over a decade. Written into official existence following the tragic attacks on 9/11, it gives powers to police and other federal agencies, the ability to read your text, your internet history, and billing transfers, all without a warrant. They cite the reasonable cause as terrorism, and they can go through any record, at any moment, and for any reason. But more than any group, those who are or appear to have Middle Eastern descent are treated differently, attacked, monitored, and shipped to Guantanamo Bay. Now, like in every other example, this is the government taking control and using it for only their advantage and no one else's.
How were the leaders of the past able to commit such atrocities as the deaths of millions by Joseph Stalin? It was because no one on the other side of the world knew. No one could say anything, no one could act, and those who did know said nothing. Communication is the most powerful tool the world has. With it we can do anything, even stop vicious tyrants who abuse those who cannot speak for themselves. They're the ones who seize any power and spit in the face of what it means to be human. We will start a society marked by the exclamation that will always be connected to each other through communication. We will speak, post, and get others to know what exactly our leaders are up to, and with this information we will rally, people will thrive to the occasion, and we will do anything in our power to ensure the sanctity of freedom. One voice may be ignored by many, but the voices of millions are a force to be reckoned with. Thank you for watching.